Yes, welcome to the Glass House where we do see things more clearly here. It's your most gracious host, Glass Top. And it's about to go all the way down. Let's do it, man.
We desire to go to Jerusalem because in the scriptures 3 times in the year you are supposed to be able to go on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem to pay your respects to God. Why do they not want us to go to Jerusalem to take our fathers in former times went in multitude unto Jerusalem? Who is it that desires that we not go to Jerusalem to pay our respect unto the omnipotent God?
Spiritually oppressing all my people like Malachi 3:8, pass the plate, let's teach. Read the whole chapter, you pastors is like Hosea 4:6, don't forget not teach. Ezekiel 8:14, they weak for who? Who's that? The cross is a lower T for that deity. Do your research. Jeremiah 23:27. Forgot his name for Lord, sharpen my sword for the kneel to the floor, say no more repent. Y'all gotta repent. Luke 1:5, the course was Abijah. 1 Chron 24 verse 10. Ha! Now I know the birth of the Messiah. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 1 though. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like fair. Let him go. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. Let's go. Leviticus 11, still people eating swine. Isaiah 65 verse 4, no swine. Isaiah 66 verse 3, no swine. Okay. Oh, you gonna need the New Testament, right? Matthew 5:17 through 19, listen. 2 John verse 6, this love I listen. Romans 2:13, now what? Who said? I said that. Read Exodus so we can exit this. Say John Bourgier, chillin', drippin', spiritual. Oppressing my people, wondering 40 years. Yahuwah is my savior and king, now listen. Yahusha means the father is salvation. John 3:18, you see why believe. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. Say what? Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Can't walk up in the church, tell the pastor like fair. Straight up. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. What? Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. Let's go. You gotta have faith, but according to the Romans 9:1-5, why you lie? My flesh is of Yasharel, you better tell.
Yes, welcome back to the Glass House where we do see things more clearly here. It's your most gracious host, Glass Top, and I'd like to give all the glory, honor, and praise to the Most High and thank Him for His Son, the Messiah, as we anticipate His return. And with that being said, I also want to thank everyone for tuning in as well. And I'm not here to waste time, so I'm finna dive right in and get today's agenda going. Now today we're going to be talking about something interesting, which is a pretty popular YouTube subject. The Illuminati, okay? Now, if you know what's going on, more power to you. Enjoy the show. If you don't know what's going on, then you will by the end of the show. or if you're still skeptical and you really don't believe and you heard about it but you just don't know if it's real, you haven't seen enough, we're going to clear all that up for you today. We're going to talk a little cash money and throw in a little common sense with it. And we're going to pull your coattail and let you know what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to open up with 2 Thessalonians, verse 7. And it says, "For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who know letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed." Okay, I'm going to stop right there. It says, "And then shall the wicked be revealed." So, over the past decade or so, you've seen this big explosion of Illuminati propaganda. And a lot of it is truth, and some of it is disinformation. Okay, so there's a thin line between what's going on and you know, like people have their views and what they think is right. But without a shadow of a doubt today, that wickedness will be revealed. And I also want to jump up here to Luke, St. Luke, chapter 12, verse 2. And the Messiah said, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known." Okay? So, with that being said, that's why things are being revealed to us on a spiritual level. That's why the so-called African Americans are waking up to who they really are. Okay? That's why the Illuminati is everywhere. That's why we can see it, because the wickedness is being revealed. What was once hidden is now brought into light, as the Messiah predicted. So we're going to start with this picture right here. This is a regular old raggedy dollar bill. And most people already know where I'm going with this. So we're going to look at it. Now, first of all, you have to ask yourself, if this is America, then what does an Egyptian pyramid have to do with the seal on the back of our currency? Now we're going to take a closer look at this. Okay, you see the pyramid here. Okay, and you see the all-seeing eye. Okay, which is very interesting. And it says, "Annuit coeptis," which means God has favored our undertakings in Latin. And underneath it you have Novus Order Seclorum, which means New Order of the Ages in Latin as well. Which is very interesting, just to know that. But okay, now we're going to go at the eye that's inside the pyramid capstone. Okay. This is the eye of Horus, an ancient deity out of Egypt. But college professors or whoever, they're going to tell you, oh, that's the eye of God. But that is very true, but which God are we talking about here? So we know this eye here that's in this pyramid, which originated in Egypt, And that's the eye of Horus. So what you're looking at is a deity, a god. And then of course, right next to it on the dollar bill, it says, "In God we trust." There's a lot of gods. Okay? So this is their god here. The ancient deity of Egypt. Okay, but that's not the point I want to make. But I want to ask you this. If our founding fathers were Freemasons, and they all have this pyramid symbology with the all-seeing eye of Horus, and if anybody does any research on the Egyptian gods, you would know that Horus was one of the supreme deities of the solar hierarchy. So we already have evidence right there. I mean, that should be enough. All you have to do is do a little research on Egypt, and you'll find out that that eye you always seeing in the Illuminati stuff is the eye of Horus. And a lot of people know this, but some people don't. But you're looking at their God. And what was the first commandment? Have no other gods before me. Okay. Now I'm going to jump back into the Old Testament right quick. We're going to go here to Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 18 verse 3. And it says, "You must not do as they do in Egypt, where you used to live." Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I don't need to say no more. It said you must not do as you did in Egypt. Okay, see, the Most High brought us out of Egypt to turn away from that stuff. So that's another red flag right there, according to Scripture. Because what we should have nothing to do with Egyptian, nothing. You know. And on top of that, this is a god of Egypt with that eye right there. So there's obviously something wrong with that. But I know I can't give it to you just like that. You know, that's not enough. You know, like, well, it's a pyramid. Well, no, I told you what it is, but you need more, so we're going to keep going. Okay. Now this is the other side this is the other part of the dollar bill, the front. Now everything is hidden and coded in plain sight. Okay? You've never seen this in a million years. If you'd have a magnifying glass, or the secrets wasn't being revealed to us so we can see and be aware spiritually against our enemy. Now what you're looking at is an owl. Okay? This is another deity which originated out of Babylon. And in Babylon, they called this owl here Molech. Okay? Now I'm going to play this clip right here. And we're going to find out what this owl means.
It is nestled among the redwoods, 2,700 acres of pristine land, broken down into dozens of camps, and for 2 weeks every July since the 1880s, and for 2 weeks every July since the 1880s, and for 2 weeks every July since the 1880s, they've been filled with some of the most wealthy and powerful men in the world. Many of them arrive on their corporate jets at the nearby Sonoma County Airport. Others arrive in fancy cars, which will fill the on-site parking lot. At its height, there is said to be more than 2,000 men who attend, and as you can imagine, they are well protected by a trove of police.
This is private property.
Yeah, I know. So we were out covering the protest, and we just wanted to see if there was anyone that could give us...
I would like you guys to get off the property, please.
There's no way we could just get an escort?
No, not at all, and I'll have the police come and arrest you if you don't leave.
Peter Phillips wrote his dissertation on the Bohemian Club in 1994 and was invited to attend for 4 days. He witnessed firsthand the opening event, the cremation of care, where the power elite leave their cares behind in a symbolic ceremony beneath Moloch the owl, beneath Moloch the owl, beneath Moloch the owl, beneath Moloch the owl, beneath Moloch the owl.
And what you're looking at here, staggeringly, is a group of people, some of the most famous people in America, in long gowns. Behind them there, you see a 40-foot stone owl. And there's the fire between them, next to the lake at Bohemian Grove. Now, one might wonder, understandably, why the people that run the banking, political, economic system and the media in America should be dressed in long robes, doing a ceremony to a 40-foot stone owl. I think we should be told.
Beneath Moloch the owl.
Ah, yes, welcome back. And by now you should be connecting the dots. Okay. You just saw the heathen tell on themselves. Okay. So now you got to ask yourself, who is Moloch? And why is the owl and the Eye of Horus on U.S. currency? Obviously, it's there on purpose, right? Because it wouldn't be a hidden little owl right there. So now you got to connect the dots. Okay, so every year for 2.5 weeks, whatever, all the rich elites meet up at the Bohemian Grove. And they do the cremation of care. Okay. And what they tell the news is, oh, we're just acting. You know. We're just acting it out. Okay. First of all, that should be very alarming to you that they're acting out a ritual ceremony of a sacrifice. I mean, in full costume and everything. Even that is very disturbing. Why are you reenacting something so evil and distraught? But we're going to go to the Holy Word, the Survival Scrolls, and see how the Most High feel about Moloch. We're going to go here to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 3. It says, I will set my face against him, and I will cut him off from his people, for by sacrificing his children to who? To Moloch. He has defiled my sanctuary and profaned my name. Okay. So ain't no way you're going to get around something like that. On the news they telling you the owl is Moloch. Okay. So they're not hiding it from you. They're hiding, what they want to keep secret, but they still letting you know, like, hey, we're here with the owl. It's a 40-foot owl. Imagine that, a 40-foot owl that is an ancient god. And we all know what the first commandment is. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, correct? We're going to keep reading, though. This is Leviticus chapter 20, verse 2. Say to the Israelites, any Israelite or any foreigner residing in Israel who sacrifices any of his children to Moloch shall be put to death. So we're starting to get a picture here that people are obviously sacrificing their kids, their sons and daughters, to the ancient demon god Moloch. Okay, we're going to keep reading though. know I got some more heat. Gonna go here to Jeremiah chapter 32 verse 35. They built high places for Baal in the valley of Ben Hinnom to sacrifice their sons and daughters to Moloch, though I never commanded, nor did it enter my mind that they should do such a detestable thing, and so make Judah sin. Okay, so obviously the Most High definitely don't condone Moloch. So you have all these rich people, these elites, that hook up at this Bohemian Grove. Now, if you want to learn more about the Bohemian Grove, then go ahead and Google that in, YouTube it. There's a million documentaries on it, okay? What I'm just trying to do is make sure you have a coherent understanding that the powers that be worship Lucifer, okay? They worship the demon gods. They got many gods. As you can see on the dollar bill, they got the Eye of Horus from Egypt. The Egyptian worship the sun, which is the eye of Lucifer. Okay. And on the dollar it says, in God we trust, because money is their God. Moloch is their God. Lucifer is their God. Ain't no way you can get around that. Okay. But I'm going to read one more scripture concerning Moloch. Okay. This is out of the New Testament here. And this is Acts chapter 7 verse 43. It says, you have taken up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your God Rephan, the idols you made to worship. Okay. It says you took up the tabernacle of Moloch. Okay, so we definitely have confirmation that the elites that run this world has definitely taken up the tabernacle or the sanctuary of Moloch. Okay, I'm going to play this clip and we're going to see what they do in the grove. Yep.
When will he learn that me he cannot slay? Year after year he burned me in this grove, lifting your puny shouts of triumph to the stars. But when again he turned your faces to the marketplace, do ye not find me waiting as of old? Fools! Fools to dream ye conquer care!
Nay, thou mocking spirit, it is not all a dream. We know thou waitest for us, year after year, within this happy grove. Our shall we burn thee once again this night? And the flames that eat thine effigy, we shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free. Ye shall burn me once again? Now believe, way, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign. Ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire. Hell fellowship's eternal flame. Once again, Midsummer sets us free.
Now, can you imagine, like your car break down and somehow you stumble up on something like that? Would you really think they were playing dress up? Or would you be about to piss your pants? Or would your heart about to pop out your chest if you walked up in the woods? And this is hypothetically speaking here. But I'm pretty sure you wouldn't feel like they were playing and reacting a ceremony, a ritual. What you just saw was the people who run America and the world, rich billion and millionaires all around the world, that go to this place and they do this ceremony. And obviously you heard the poor soul that died in that video. And if you think for 1 second that they're playing, you lost, man. That's no game. That's no coincidence. How you gonna get around that, man? Really though. The Bible is telling you they took up the tabernacle of Moloch, the demon god. That ain't even cool just to reenact. If you're supposed to be, like a religious person. I mean, if y'all want to react something, y'all could do that like in the room or something. I mean, they're in full costume, torches, and you hear the scream, and they're like, oh, that's just the video we're playing. Okay. Just like the owl that you put on the dollar bill was just an accident or something. Get real. They lie, man. Okay? We're going to take a break. When I get back, we're going to continue to break it down so you can have a clear understanding that these folks are satanic. And this Illuminati stuff is real. It's no game. Just as sure as you saw them crackers in them robes, somebody got their ass lit up. God bless his soul. Sounded like a male, but he got roasted that night. And every summer they do that sacrifice since the 1800s. We're going to take a break. When I get back, we're going to continue.
Say I'm lacking feelings, but I'm just lacking solution. What you want me to do, so tell me what's your conclusion. I cannot read your mind, cause unfortunately I'm human. Where we go from here, I'm trying to see these things clearly. Know you thinking in your mind. Does he hear me when I'm talking? Our conversations falling flatter than some batter lacking ease. Miscommunication, words get caught up in the creases. There is power in agreements. To us, pledge your allegiance. I think I found the key that's linking you and me. And it is what is needed, so I stop your heart from bleeding. Then repeated nights of weeping. I'm speaking of them tears to make you stutter when you breathe in. Make your heart jump when this beats in. Like beat, jump, beat again. Still you find the strength to pray for me. And I say keeping Holy Spirit superseding. So you have strength for proceeding. I fell short 100 times, but you don't see me as a heathen.
I fell short 100 times, but you don't see me as a heathen. Cause the one you will never, cause we fight against these demons. And I prayed 100 times and Christ saved me in the right season. Something like Apostle Paul, but these verses my Ephesians.
And the world is full of lust, they cock it back and name it us. But we don't war with flesh and blood, so don't direct they fight to us. They try to break the whole construct of the families. We conduct our plans and seeds of antitrust. They try to catch the man alone and then entice him with some lust. Make the foundations grow corruption. Yeah, them demons always working hard to try to break the sub. From here on out, I'm girded up, fight against principalities. Even in my sleep, I'm fighting demons cause they after me. We are under attack, but there's no white flag or fallback. Cause if I ran from Iraq, they would probably call me Turkey. Going off from waters murky, cause I'm trying to murk some demons. My family's the reason. If we're the salt of the earth, it is in desperate need of seasoning. I hope we in agreement that the devil needs impeachment. Stand your duty as a man, or you'll be guilty of this treason. If we unite under Christ, we can fight a couple of legions.
Short 100 times, but you don't see me as a heathen. Cause the one you will never, cause we fight against these demons. And I prayed 100 times and Christ saved me in the right season. Something like Apostle Paul, but these verses my Ephesians.
Fighting all the time will put some doubt inside your mind. Make you disrespect your head and be unfruitful in your womb, so we cannot become consumed. So I'm barricading entrance for the spiritual offenses, so that we can start the process of our spiritual repentance. Keep our mind inside our words, so we can keep up our defenses. Satan gon' get his because Yeshaya is our vengeance. Trying to be one of the remnants when Yeshaya comes and visits. You dig it? Of Israel, family. You wonder why things need to be corrected? Correct the things at home first.
Yes, welcome back. Welcome back. And we're gonna keep the agenda flowing. Now, so far, I've covered 2 of the 3 main gods that the Luciferians worship. Okay? They worship the eye of Horus, or the eye of Lucifer. They worship the pagan god Moloch. And they also worship the Baphomet, the goat demon god. See, in order to really have a good view on the heathen, you have to understand how it goes down and who they dealing with and how they get down. You see what I'm saying? This ain't no make-believe stuff. This stuff really goes on. And it's all around us. Just gotta have eyes to see. Now take a look at the American health symbol right here. You see the wings, you see the pole and the 2 snakes wrapped around it. Just that by itself, you should question that. You should just question, like, why is this the health symbol, Which it does trace back all the way to Egypt. That's Egypt symbology too. That's the Kundalini. Okay? The pole with the snakes rising. That's some other topic, some other time. Right now we're focusing on the main three gods that the Luciferian worship. Okay? Now we're looking at the Baphomet. Now you see the same comparison of the American health symbol inside the Baphomet. Okay? And you also see the male and female representation, which is also a mockery of the Most High, because he made woman and man separately. And you also see the hand up and one down, which represents as above, so below. Okay, it's all about symbology and secrets. Okay, so we're going to play a clip and you're going to learn a little bit about the Baphomet.
A Satanist named Eliphas Levi created an idol of the devil in the form of Baphomet, the great goat god. He was worshipped by the Knights Templar and by Gnostics and Satanists, and many say even in the Illuminati systems of today. This foul Luciferian goat god Baphomet is worshipped. Notice his androgynous, that is male and female, appearance. The torch of light on his head, the horns that come out of the goat's head. Notice the satanic pentagram, the two serpents coming out of the genital area, and of course the horned goat hooves. Now it's interesting that Aleister Crowley, known as one of the most vicious and most horrible Satanists of the 20th century, was in fact a man who called himself Baphomet, and in his book, The Book of the Law, published in 1904, Aleister Crowley, the great British Satanist, who once bragged that he was the wickedest man on the planet and self-styled his own being as the Antichrist, signed in that book his name. But it wasn't Aleister Crowley. He signed the name Baphomet. And this was the symbol of the seal of the Grand OTO. That is a secret satanic organization of which Aleister Crowley was the head. His seal was Baphomet. He was the Grand Master, but what is this strange creature?
Hundreds of people turned out tonight for the unveiling of a very controversial statue.
Yeah, it really is. The Satanic Temple of Detroit revealed the 1-ton bronze statue. Their message, they say, more about laws protecting religious freedom than about Satan. Priya Mann joins us live. Priya, I know there were some protesters out there this evening. Did the event remain calm?
Steve Sander, Detroit police say this was a relatively peaceful event. There were a few protesters early on that tried blocking the doors so people couldn't get in to get tickets. They were told to step back, which they did. The Satan statue will be unveiled tonight at a secret location. As a small group of protesters prayed, hundreds waited for tickets to the unveiling of an 8-foot-tall bronze statue of a goat-headed Satan. Most of the people here agree with the teachings of the Satanic Temple, the group responsible for the event.
It's here, it's in Detroit, and this is fantastic that we get to experience this and we get to see this amazing statue be unveiled for all the world to see.
Many tell us they feel misunderstood and are quick to point out they do not worship the devil. They do not worship the devil. They do not worship the devil.
Mostly about individuality. So the one thing I don't like is the backlash, but they have no knowledge.
Now, it's important to note that the Satan statue will not stay here in Detroit. The Satanic Temple wants to take the statue to Arkansas, the state capital there. There is a monument to the 10 Commandments. They want to put the statue next to it as a form of protest. So again, the Satan statue will not stay here in Detroit. Reporting live, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, the controversy will move south.
Ah, yes. As you can see, it didn't take much to prove to you how real the Baphomet is. I mean, it's on the news. I mean, you know, like, they got a statue that they unveiled, you know, that they're going to set right next to the Ten Commandments in Oklahoma. Now, isn't that interesting? So, by now, you should understand the three top gods that the Luciferian worship. They worship the Egyptian gods. They worship Moloch. And they also worship the Baphomet. Okay? So now you should have a better understanding of what really is going on, how the wickedness is really being revealed to us on a spiritual level. And we're able to see what's been hidden right before our very eyes. And I want to read this passage here. It's St. Matthew chapter 25. We're going to start at verse 31. And it says, "When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then he shall sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left." Okay, now I'm going to stop right there for a minute. He said he's going to separate the sheep from the goats. The sheep are going to be on his right hand, and the goats are going to be on the left hand. That's why the Satanists often say they chose the left-hand path. So this explains why you always see this symbolism, this Baphomet symbolism, the goat head, all in the Satanist stuff. This is who they worship. They're goats, as the Messiah predicted. We're going to keep reading though. He says, "Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world." So that goes without saying. So by now you should have a very clear view on who these heathens are worshiping. They're worshiping Egyptian gods. They're worshiping Babylonian gods. You know, I'm just here to kind of give you a better, view on things as far as, what these guys are really getting down with. Yeah, but before I go, I want you to take a look at this picture here. Now, this is a caption I took off my phone, and I thought it was very interesting that when they're announcing, this is like the day one, like I just happened to turn on the news, and I saw it, and I took a picture of it. But this kind of brings everything in a full circle here. See, do you think that was another coincidence? I doubt that very seriously. You know, this is why you're always flooded with the images, okay? You're going to always see the pyramid with the eye symbolism everywhere. Because why? That's the God that they worship. You're going to see the hand signs. It's never going to stop until, you know, the end of the world, basically. And that's the stages we're living in right now. So this is the reason you see all of this symbology, but you don't understand why they're doing it, but you can see it. I know you can see it because it's everywhere. Because at this point they feel like it's checkmate. Who cares if you know about us? We even making statues, 1-ton statues. They got the goat with the kids. You know, it looks crazy. But before I go, I want you to check out this interview. I thought it was very interesting. And it kind of puts everything in its perspective. It's your most gracious host. Catch you on the next time. Peace.
The one thing that, you know, kind of spooked me about it all was he has a song called Let's Go Crazy. Yeah. What's the elevator? He said, well, the elevator is the devil. He said, well, the elevator is the devil. He said, well, the elevator is the devil. Right? It scared me. I don't like to talk like that, but he said that. And so for me, it was like really haunting when and it says, don't let the elevator bring us down. One time when I was with him privately, he said, you know what the elevator is, right? No. I said, no. I read that he was found in an elevator.